What is the crack? Welcome back to episode 3 of season 2 of the Randall's Races My Team series. Today we have the Portuguese Grand Prix, and if you haven't seen the Imola episode, spoiler alert, we lead the championship. That's only 2 races in, but still, we lead the championship. That's just, we could get no points for the season. I'm just going to remind everyone for the rest of the season, we led the championship at one stage. But yeah, 2 podiums out of 2. We come into Portugal. Probably track that's not going to suit our car. It seems like a very downforce heavy car, which is what we lack. But maybe we could scrap some points. Early days, we can't say we're in the championship fight yet. But if this is a race that could define it. These are the type of races where we need to scrap the points rather than losing it. Championships are won based on how you come back from failure, which this race is probably going to be a massive one. But anyway, sit back, relax, and watch me probably regret my putting Portugal on the calendar. So we're getting ready for our qualifying lap. We cannot get out early because we had a car issue, but we have enough time to get 1 lap done in this Q1 session. Everyone's gone out apart from one of the Mercs, so clearly showing that it's track evolution. But yeah, as you can see, we're kind of struggling a bit already. Lack of downforce, something we need to invest in more. We're definitely a straight line car, so it's parts like this we need to go. But it's the hairpin we're going to be struggling. Like, we had to brake really early to get it in there, and we're getting very, very off edge. Like, we're having to catch the car. This is a session where I think we're not going to be off the grid as high as we were previously. Like, we were third in Imola. Look, we're losing it again. Turn 6 by far the hardest on this track. You can easily go spin around. Qualifying now over. We haven't had a competitive lap in, and we're going very wide there. We're slightly ahead of Stroll though. It's going to be here where we get the bit of speed, bit of momentum. We need good exo, which we did not get the last proper exo, and we're going wide again. We just had not hit any apexes right at all, and that could punish us massively, especially in a qualifying session like this, in a track where we're not going to be suited to. But just put the foot down, let the engine do its work, and we are out. So close. George is early, so that's a bit of a silver lining. But because of that, we're going to take a full engine change. We're going to take the 4th column, not to have one of our engines. So we're going to be starting from the back of the grid for the Portuguese Grand Prix. We're starting 17th. We may as well use this to just get a new engine in place rather than waste an engine, basically, because we need to change this soon enough anyway. But here we go. The Portuguese Grand Prix.
The Formula One circus has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in Portimao. .9 miles of track at Portimao, featuring 15 turns, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. There's a lot going on here, a lot of elevation changes that will affect the driver's braking and acceleration. Keep an eye out for the DRS zone on the final straight. That will be the setup for a lot of today's overtaking chances. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Carlos Sainz, and Leclerc, Norris, Ricciardo, Gasly, and Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Lance Stroll, and Verstappen, Aitken, Ocon, the owner driver. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Joe, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So it is a Mercedes front row lockout. We're at the back of the grid. We have work to be doing. Mercedes, it's a fight, but Sebastian Vettel gets a brilliant start. Bottas has a really poor start. Sebastian Vettel just shot himself from turning in the first corner. Bottas dropped down, but meanwhile, oh, there's a massive crash. I think Schumacher, we have damage in the pandemonium. Schumacher's out. That's a safety car. We have damage. We're going to have to be pitting. There's a pile-up in front of us. What is going on here? Well, this few easy moves. The cars are just everywhere. We're going to need to pit, though. That's not going to matter at all. Yeah, to give the position back. We're getting some, but like it doesn't matter. And here we go. Sebastian Vettel having an absolute rocket of a start. Bottas just bogs down. Hamilton's got the best of starts. Vettel just shoots his way into first. And meanwhile, Mick Schumacher, he got wobbly. He didn't know where he wanted to put the car, and he is out. Meanwhile, let's see what causes pile-up. So the safety car got called out now, and Jack Aitken does not know where he wants to go. But we will have to pit now because of that damage he got. Clipping Raikkonen, trying to avoid the damage, the chaos. But we got damage instead. Not what we wanted. It's not much of a change anyway. We're back grid anyway. If anything, we're up a bit. We've gone up 2. We're ahead of Raikkonen and Schumacher. Schumacher not in anymore. Raikkonen paying also with damage from us having a little bit of contact. But now it's all based on how we do the restart. We've been very good in restarts recently. Imola, we took both Mercedes. Now going for the back of the grid. Bit of slipstream of Jack Aitken. There's a gap between him and Ocon. We're going to speed ourselves into that gap. Get one spot. And we just know it's going to be a pile, so we're just not going to be waiting the queue. We're shooting ourselves through. We're ahead of our teammate George Russell. We've gone. Oh, and apparently there's a collision. Yeah, cool. We have a slipstream of Guan Yu, and again we're just gonna try and find a perfect, and there's just a beautiful gap there between Mazepin and Stroll for us to fit ourselves through. Already 20th to 14th in a couple corners. So going to the next lap number 5, we have the slipstream of Lance Stroll. We are by far the quickest car in a straight line, so we're gonna with ease go down. I think we've made minor collision with Stroll. We're still on track though, but I think Stroll may have damage. We definitely clipped his wing. But now it's going to be Giovinazzi, the next car ahead of us. The Alfa Romeo. Italian Jesus. And I'm going to go for a super clean move down the inside. And anyone who watches TikTok knows that reference. And we are ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi. Now it's a Fernando Alonso. These are the cars that are going to be faster. These are going to be more difficult. Let's skip ahead a few laps. Some cars already pitting. And we're just maintaining gap. We're not gaining on Alonso. We've just maintained this 1.2 second gap to Alonso. We've not been able to gain on him really. The dirty air not really handled us well. We have to be very cautious through corners like these due to the turbo air produced by Alonso's Alpine, and we're just not suited for this. But we're going to go longer. We pitted already. We did few laps. I don't think any tire will go the end. Hards, especially on the track, really poor. We're going to go longer for the mediums. As now you see it's ourselves and Alonso, the only was not pitting. I'm not sure if Alonso's going to pit this lap. He is. So we inherit the lead of the race. Where I don't know where we are. Jeff's asking us to pit now. I don't think we will though. I think we'll go to the mediums. Try to stretch the mediums to the end possibly. Do a few more laps on these softs. We still have a bit of grip. And George Russell in turn. He can create a bit of a DRS train that can hopefully close the pack together, so we can catch up to the pack towards the end of the race on fresher mediums. Coming up to lap 15 and the tires, you see the icon, tires are gone. We're going to go into the pit now for the mediums. I think George's going to be following us in anyway. We need to do 17, is it? Laps on the mediums.
George is coming in for his stop.
So we're in good position to get points, which I said at the start of the video, that's going to be crucial for this. Of course, I didn't expect us to be starting at the back of the grid and get damage off the start. So points now massive, especially if we do end up being in a championship fight. So we're now going to be exiting the pit lane. We're going to be actually very close with Fernando Alonso. I believe we're actually going to be going wheel to wheel. He just makes a move on Grand Usual. We're going wheel to wheel with Fernando Alonso. We've done the overcut on Fernando Alonso. I did not expect us to do that. He's been stuck behind traffic, Alonso, and we get ahead of Fernando Alonso on the pit stops. That is massive. That's one less car to overtake. As some cars ahead of us actually going for a 2-stop. Gasly's 2-stopping. Verstappen, I think that's his first stop. But Ricardo and Leclerc, they're 2-stopping. So that's giving us track position. I wonder if anyone else ahead of us is 2-stopping. Bottas on the hards, I don't think he will. Norris might 2-stop. So we might inherit some track position really easily, as we've showed like the speed difference between the mediums and the hards, just showing in the gap we have to Alonso. As Sainz and Norris are 2-stopping, we're going to inherit P5. Let's just check with the championship. We still will lead the championship despite this. Then again, Bottas, who's, I don't know what the gap, I think it's 7. He's directly ahead of us anyway, and he's the closest to us, so I guess that makes sense for us to still be leading. Of course, our tires are going to be dying soon. We're taking a gamble, and the gamble may pay off. There's about a 9-second gap to Sainz. Alonso might catch us. I don't know, but yeah, that's not what you need. Well, one in the hairpins. Grip already going off a bit. But the longer we can keep these tires alive and hold back, Alonso might be holding back the Ferrari, so that might aid us a bit. We might be able to get P5. I doubt. The safety car is out though. And this is why Lance Stroll collides with Guan Yu Zhou going out of the pits. And his front wing is on the middle of the track. So we're actually going to pit for a fresh set of mediums. We know how good we're on these restarts. We can get these positions back soon and quickly, hopefully. Of course, it's a cheap pit stop. We're going to give our track position to get fresher tires, and I think we're the only ones who've gone into the pit. Well, Lance Stroll obviously has to go in the pit, but he's kind of, we've dropped down to P17 though. That's not where I wanted to be. I thought we'd be a bit higher, but Kimi Raikkonen's car has just exploded in front of me. That's one less overtake, I guess. Yeah, one less overtake for us. Yeah, for P16 now. We're on the restart. We're going wheel to wheel with Jack Aitken. Sebastian Vettel still leads. There's nothing really happening at the top. Sebastian Vettel's just keeping everyone behind him. That's why I'm not really showing it. We're going to go see if we get 2. We could get Gasly. We can't get Verstappen though. Gasly's going to be fine us though. We're going to just dive down the same move we did in the last restart. We're 11th already. We've just dived on Ricardo. Ricardo probably going to tip his hat to us for that anyway. But you see George Russell's holding up Lando Norris. George Russell is playing the team game. He is holding up everyone else. Well, Giovinazzi more holding, but George Russell definitely, I had to itch my nose here, playing the team game. George Russell, we could be in a position to get double points for the team. Russell, I think, started at 12. As we're just going to show the absolute power of this car on the straights, as we're going to just get the slipstream off Norris, off Russell. We have the fastest car. Just the slipstream is unbelievable. As we're going to just take the track limit to the line. I don't know how we don't have floor outs. We get both Russell and Norris together. Was it legal? I don't know. But we do it. But now we're coming into the next lap. We won't have DRS for this, but it's just we don't even need it. Slipstream ERS. The same DRS setup. We don't even need it. We're just gonna slip past Antonio Giovinazzi into PA. Alonso and Leclerc are battling in front of us. This could be good for us. They'll be holding each other up, and we could go try and take the scraps as they fight. But Leclerc has the move on Alonso. We're going to have DRS on Alonso. So is Alonso and Leclerc. So Alonso might get back at Leclerc, hold them both up. But he doesn't. As we're going to see even go on the outside, we just don't have the downforce to do it. But one thing we do have, straight line speed. Sit back and enjoy us bully Fernando Alonso. Yeah, thank you.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of
Right, Joe, get over here. Oh wait, Alonso's gonna have DRS on us. Yes, yeah, let's get Charles. I don't really care about Alonso. Let's go after Charles Leclerc. Yeah, Charles ran away first. Ricardo has got Alonso though. Ricardo's gonna be with DRS now. Gonna be, and Norris might get Alonso very soon. So we have both McLarens up our rear. We just have to. It's the corners we're gonna be caught. Like we able to keep ahead of them. For the straights, it's the corners. We're liable to make mistakes, and Ricardo is not going to be patient. If he sees a gap, he's going for it. So we need to be very careful under these parts, as Ricardo is hungry for P7. It's going up to the next lap. Ricardo, DRS. We get the fastest last sector to try to stretch away from the McLaren. Just he's not gaining us in these straights. We just have that much straight line speed. Even DRS is not helping that much, but he's going to gain us through this process. We're very, very slow through that corner. But Ricardo's not gaining us much. It's DRS now. He's going to be caning us a bit because we didn't get a good exit. It's down to 3 temps, 2 temps now. Norris is going to be catching up to us very, very soon. We're going to be having to hold back 2 McLarens for 2 laps to keep P7 as we go wide in the last turn. Ricardo gets the move done. He's got DRS, but this is just to show how ridiculous straight line speed is. He has DRS and we're still maintaining with. And we're gonna go down the inside. We keep the position. Ricardo goes wide. I think they've tapped the McLarens. I think he tapped his teammate, possibly. Oh my lord. Anyway. Yeah, Norris definitely has damage. Ricardo DRS 2 times again, same position as last time. Without 1 more lap to defend against the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. As we actually let him go through. We're being tactical here. We're going to have DRS on for the last lap, just to guarantee we get the 7th. Norris definitely has damage. He's going so slowly, but this is going to be crucial. If this goes right, we seem like a genius. If this goes wrong, we're an idiot. We've given away 2 points, which could be crucial for the championship. So I'm not going to say we're in the championship fight yet, but we might be. But we're going into the last lap. We're going to have DRS. Meanwhile, behind Alonso is Norris. Oh, what? That's a massive crash. Alonso's just got sandwiched. What happened here? Norris did have damage. He goes wide. Alonso. Oh, Norris lost it a bit on the corner, and Alonso just smashed into him. And George Russell just eats some points for that. He's into the points. But we want more points. We want to get Daniel Ricciardo. And just look at the speed. We're going to get him with these. We get P7 on the track. And that should be enough to hold on for P7. I don't think Ricciardo has the speed to get us. His tires are probably dying off also. He's been on them longer than us, I believe. But he's going to have one more chance here. But I think he's too far back to go for it. And he is. We're going to hold on to P7 in this race. We're starting from the back of the grid, getting P7. But it's this man who has led from the goal. Had a bullet up the start. And he has just remained true to himself. Sebastian Vettel has returned to Red Bull. He has to score in the first 2 races. He has to beat his old self, but he is back to where he belongs. Welcome back, Sebastian Vettel, to the top step in a Red Bull. We're coming home for P7 after starting from the back of the grid. Daniel Ricciardo takes P8. George Russell gets his 2nd points for our team, another 9th place, and Max Verstappen gets his 1st points for Williams.
Drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
So Sebastian Vettel returns to the top step of an F1 podium in Red Bull. It's a double podium for Red Bull. We've gone from the back of the grid to 6th, 7th, and that's kept us in the lead of the championship by a point. That move on Daniel Ricciardo keeps us in the lead. Sebastian Vettel up to 3rd. George Russell gets some points on him, more points on him, get up to 4 points. 18th in the standings. Hopefully he can get more when he gets more used to the car. The only 3 drivers yet to score: Schumacher, Zhou, and Mazepin. Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri 6th. That's just mad. We're 3rd in the team standing. That's a really close. 16 points separate the top 4. Mercedes lead, Red Bull lead, us lead, McLaren. But at this stage, can we say we're in the championship fight? We've held our lead. Are we in the championship fight?